Joining us to discuss the outcome of this vote and what comes next is Baer, president of the Center for Christian Virtue in Ohio. Aaron, thank you for being with us. This was not an unexpected outcome. Tell us, what were the circumstances in Ohio and why was there such an overwhelming support against Issue 1?
You know, what we saw here were a lot of different factors at play, especially at the end. First and foremost, we got flooded with out-of-state money. And by all means, we had money coming in on our side from out of state, but the final tally of this is going to be millions more on the no side that came in from California and really from even George Soros funded organizations. The other thing was you have to give credit where credit is due. The opposition did a phenomenal job of muddying the waters, and they really targeted core Republican conservative voters. They had a message about how this was going to steal people's rights, steal their vote. You know, one of their ads actually ended with the slogan, "Stop the Steal." And they framed this up well of taking away the one person, one vote, taking away your ability to, as a voter, to have power. And that was really what sank this initiative, was how powerful their message was. And they got up on TV probably about 2 weeks before our side did and really defined the issue for voters.
Yeah, well, in a state that does have pro-life protections, then how pro-life is the citizenry in Ohio? Is this a reflection of that?
You know, the national narrative right now that people are trying to put out there that this is a show that Ohio is not a pro-life state is really just silly. Again, look back in 2019, Governor Mike DeWine ran to win governor on signing the heartbeat bill. As soon as he got elected, the first thing he did was he signed the heartbeat bill. And then he was up for re-election last year and went against a very pro-abortion candidate who really drove that message in Nan Whaley. And Mike DeWine won 85 out of 88 counties after signing the heartbeat bill, right? And that was after the Dobbs decision, right? The decision that everyone said was going to be so bad for pro-life candidates. So the idea that Ohio is not a pro-life state, the idea that voters are really ardently pro-abortion in Ohio is just silly. And ultimately, that wasn't the life issue. If anything, really helped drive out our base. We exceeded our hope of voters we were going to drive out to vote yes on this. But it certainly wasn't the reason why this lost.
Right. Well, then what will happen when abortion is on the ballot in November? What comes next for your team and that broader pro-life movement in Ohio?
Well, there is a silver lining in every one of these situations. And this really did give us, a strong foundation to build from with 1.3 million yes votes that we feel like very much understood, considering the amount of propaganda, considering the amount of attack ads, that still 1.3 million Ohioans came out and voted yes is a strong base for us to start from. The other thing is we also see where we need to improve. So this is one of these things national commentators just sort of miss out on the local context. So you take Northeast Ohio, where we did really badly, where Issue 1 did really badly. That's strong union country. That's also strong Trump country up there. That was the areas that Donald Trump really flipped in 2016 in a historic fashion. And those voters, when we really start exposing how radical, how extreme this abortion amendment is, that would allow, you might be pro-choice or you might not be life until conception, but most voters are going to say it's pretty crazy that this would allow a minor to get an abortion without their parents knowing. And that's the opportunity that we have before us in November.
And then how does this loss fit into the broader context of other losses earlier this year? You talked about it not being an apples-to-apples comparison, but is there something that the pro-life movement is missing?
Again, I think big picture, the pro-life movement is where we were before August 8th. We still have to figure out how to defeat this really aggressive and really broad abortion language. August 8th, the Issue 1 amendment about 60%. This is an idea that has been floating around Ohio really for decades. I actually remember testifying on this idea about 5 years ago. So this was something that was very local, very contextual to Ohio. And again, there are certain lessons in terms of how we need to, what we need to do in order to win in November. But the idea that this is emblematic of a broader pro-life issue, honestly, Montse, I just got to say, we were so impressed and so excited about the pro-life response we saw. We saw Catholic churches and evangelical churches stepping up like never before and being ready to go. So in many ways, this is giving us a running start going into November.
God willing, just a practice run. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thanks, Montse.